Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you're joining us today, you probably know the exact awful feeling I'm about to describe. Someone asks you a question in English and boom, your mind just goes completely blank, right? It's honestly one of the most frustrating experiences for any language learner. But today, we're going to completely dismantle that blank mind syndrome. We're going to shift your entire mindset around what it actually takes to become a confident, fluent speaker. I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly you can just speak English confidently. No fear, no nervousness, no overthinking every single syllable. You just speak naturally and people understand you. Easy. Think about that physical anxiety you might feel right now when you freeze up in a conversation. You know, your heart starts beating faster, that sheer panic of searching for the right word. Now imagine that completely, 100% gone. That future is absolutely possible. But you know what? Most people never reach it because they make one massive mistake. They just keep waiting for the perfect time or the perfect grammar.
Look at this right here. This is the core truth. The secret isn't perfect grammar. It's practice, it's patience, and it's simple English. Confident speakers aren't these magical beings born with some special language talent. No way. They're just ordinary people who built simple daily habits. They practiced, they made mistakes, they stayed patient, and they just didn't quit. So today, we're going to look at the powerful lessons that will completely change the way you speak, making you sound way more natural, even if you literally still consider yourself a total beginner.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We've got 6 parts. The secret to fluency, train your mouth daily, listen to natural English, stop translating, embrace mistakes, and finally, the power of consistency. So starting right off with Section 1, the secret to fluency. It's all about simple over complicated. And this brilliantly illustrates a huge point. There's this massive myth out there that speaking English like a professional means using incredibly difficult words and super complex grammar. Because of that myth, learners try to force these long, winding sentences. And what actually happens? Well, they get nervous, they pause way too much, they forget words, and their confidence basically collapses. But look at the reality here. On one side, you have a speaker using complicated English, but they're totally paralyzed by fear. On the other side, someone using simple English speaks with total confidence. Who sounds more professional to you? It's always the second person, for sure. Communication matters far more than showing off your vocabulary. Simple English is easy to understand, easy to remember, and honestly, a whole lot easier to speak confidently.
Let's try this. I understand your idea. I need more practice. I feel excited today. Seriously, practice these very basic sentences out loud right now. They're basic, yeah, but if you speak them clearly and calmly, they sound incredibly powerful. When you use words you already know backwards and forwards, your brain feels way less pressure and your natural flow just takes over. Stop trying to sound complicated. Clarity is what actually makes you sound like a pro.
Moving to Section 2. Train your mouth daily. Because speaking is a physical skill.
A lot of learners will literally study for years, reading grammar books, memorizing lists of vocabulary, but they still freeze up. Why? Well, it's because they're training their brain, but they aren't training their mouth. Think about it. You can't learn to play football just by watching matches on TV, right? You have to actually get on the field. Your mouth, your tongue, your pronunciation, these are physical tools, and they need physical training. Here are some actionable, incredibly effective daily habits you can do to get that physical practice. And the best part? You don't even need a speaking partner. Speak simple sentences in the morning when you wake up. Just say, today will be a good day. Name your food while you're eating it. Describe your surroundings out loud. And maybe most importantly, read English text out loud, not just silently in your head. Just 10 to 15 minutes of this physical mouth training every single day will build massive speaking confidence over time.
Which brings us to Section 3. Listen to natural English. Put your ears before your mouth.
If you want to speak like a professional, you've got to listen like one first. Good speaking actually starts with good listening. Think about how a child naturally learns a language. They don't study textbooks. They follow a simple, natural process. Step 1, listen to natural sounds and rhythms. Step 2, understand the main feelings and patterns. And step 3, copy and speak naturally. Notice what's missing there? Panicking over every single unknown word. That is not a step. When you listen, don't stop every 2 seconds to look up a word. Let the natural rhythm just wash over you. Absorb the overall flow. Understand the main idea. And keep going. Your brain is actually quietly memorizing pronunciation in the background without even realizing it. And that leads us to one of the absolute best techniques in the world, shadowing.
Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat their sentence out loud to copy their rhythm and pronunciation. It's like training your ears and your mouth together as a team. Find a simple clip you enjoy, listen to a sentence, pause it, and then repeat it exactly how they said it. I'm telling you, it is an absolute game changer for sounding more natural.
Okay, Section 4. Stop translating, start thinking. We need to cut out the middleman.
Now, what's really interesting here is how much translating in your head acts as a massive mental block. You hear a question in English, you translate it to your native language in your head, formulate an answer, and then try to translate that back. That equals an overloaded brain and a really slow response. You're juggling grammar, vocabulary, and translation all at the exact same time. This middleman causes those unnatural pauses, that robotic speech, and just huge amounts of stress. But thinking directly in English, that equals a calm mind and a fast, direct response. Start by thinking in really simple sentences as you go about your day. I am tired. This tea is good. Thinking directly in simple English cuts down that brain overload and dramatically speeds up your conversational response times.
Let's look at Section 5, Embrace Mistakes and Emotion, because perfection is a total myth.
Have you ever wondered why so many really intelligent people with great vocabularies, just stay silent? It's fear. Fear of what others are going to think, fear of making a grammar mistake, fear of sounding foolish. But I want you to anchor yourself to this mantra. Mistakes are not proof that you are weak. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. Think of a baby learning to walk. They fall down hundreds of times, right? But falling down is exactly what teaches them balance. Every single fluent speaker you admire today started out making mistakes. They spoke broken English, they forgot words, but they didn't let it stop them. If you sit around in silence, waiting until your grammar is absolutely flawless before you open your mouth, you're going to be waiting for a lifetime. Practice is the beginning of fluency, not perfection.
And part of letting go of that perfectionism is embracing emotion. Take this simple phrase, I am very excited today. If you're so terrified of messing up the grammar that you deliver it like a flat, nervous robot, you're not going to sound fluent. But if you just relax your face, use natural body language, maybe actually smile, and put some genuine feeling into it, I am very excited today, you instantly sound so much more confident and professional. Injecting that natural emotion makes your language come alive.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, the power of consistency. It's like planting the fluency tree.
Building fluency really is like planting a tree. You don't just dump hundreds of gallons of water on a seed on day one and then expect a fully grown tree the very next morning. No, you water it a little bit, every single day. To build that consistency, you have to practice even on the difficult days when you really don't feel like it. 10 minutes of practice daily absolutely beats studying for 3 hours once a week. Celebrate those small improvements. Understanding a new sentence? That's a victory. And trust the invisible progress. Honestly, for months, it might feel like absolutely nothing is happening, and then suddenly you realize you're understanding more and speaking with way less fear. Every single professional fluent speaker was once a nervous beginner who simply refused to quit.
So, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Will you stay silent, waiting for a perfection that's never going to arrive? Or will you start speaking simply today? Challenge yourself to drop the fear, drop the overly complicated vocabulary, take immediate, physical action. Train your mouth, listen every day, and just allow yourself to learn. Why not start your 10 minutes of practice right now?